Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining week two of the OutTake slash conversational slash just two homies from NC State just sitting back having a good time talking about one of their passions, which is fantasy football. And B Foster, introduce yourself, and then I'll come back.
Yeah, man. B Foster, glad to be here. Can always find me on Twitter, Foster_BSE. Talking fantasy, talking NBA Top Shot. That's another subject. But yeah, holla at me, man.
Okay. Yeah, B. Last week you were on fire, and we joked around a little bit last week about the injury report
Oh
that
yeah,
the injury streak that you were on last
yeah,
last
boy.
year, and the
And I
injury
kept
streak continued. It felt like.
kept it going.
I
No,
mean,
yeah, you're right. It felt like it kept going, man. Listen, Raheem Mostert, man. Listen, about 11:30 on Sunday. The thing is, I didn't have Mostert in my lineup, in my cash lineup. But about 11:30 Sunday morning, we get news that Trey Sermon is inactive, who's supposed to be the
the guy.
backup for Mostert.
Yeah.
I said, man, this is already a cake matchup. I loved it as a tournament play. Nobody was on Mostert last week. Everybody was on these Dalvin Cook, McCaffrey, um, Kamara, and rightfully so. But I just thought Mostert was a great contrarian play against Detroit. Terrible against the run last year. Now you're telling me his backup, quote unquote backup, is not going to play? Man, I got to get him in here. And 2 carries in, I get the notification. Mostert to the locker room with a leg injury. I said, oh, man, here we go. Here we go again, man. Here we go again.
Hey,
Uh,
you're not
but hey,
alone.
that's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes.
You're not alone on that, by the way. And I don't even know if we talked about Mostert together or not.
No.
But Mostert was in my cash lineups, period. But I did tell the fantasy football listeners, week one, minimize your bankroll, which I did. Minimize my bankroll. I'm actually ashamed how little bankroll I played last week. But I'm actually happy in hindsight, given how Mostert was really the guy. And if you were paying attention, just like you said, Mostert should have been the guy. And even his backup came in and smashed.
Exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, if I know it's revisionist history, but man, if you say if that's what Mostert was gonna do, man, that's what what the plan was. That was the
Now,
whole plan, you know?
I mean, the backup comes in and smashes. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
anyways, I still think that was a great play. But to some degree, that's also why you kind of diversify. I
Yeah.
talked about a little bit, try to diversify your lineups a little bit because you never know how the injury bug gets you. But if a guy goes down second play of the game or second carry of the game, you're toast. So, but anyway, we got some. Given your injury bug, I want to hit mine real fast, man. Last week I was hating on this man, and you were on it last week. But yo, some people just know how to play on Friday Night Lights. When the lights come out, some people just know how to play.
That's
And
right.
and evidently, this is the guy that knows how to play when the lights come on.
Oh
And
yeah.
who cares about practice? Jamar Chase, I hated on that man last week because he was dropping balls in the preseason and talking about how small the NFL ball is without the stripes and all that stuff. But he just went blank when the game went on. He didn't care what the ball looked like last week. And so, for those that are home, man, he's in my lineup this week at
Yeah.
$5,000, 5,000 points, DraftKings points, man. He is in my lineup. Somehow, the quarterback and him have a special relationship, and I thought Tyler Boyd would be that guy that they would just keep peppering, but nah, that's not gonna happen. Chase is the
Yeah.
guy.
I mean, I think all those guys are gonna have their weeks. Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins. Um, the question is who and when. T. Higgins even had a good game last week, so probably two of those. It's probably enough for two of those to eat every week. And Joe Mixon ate. Although it was a good game environment with Minnesota. You know, they combined 60 points, so it was enough for everybody to get production. Went to overtime, but I think the Bengals, with how aggressive they are, I think that's going to be a situation a lot of the year, man. So, listen, I'm going right, like you said, back to Jamar Chase, back to T. Higgins, back to Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd is going to be the one this week.
I think so.
Only because he was the last of the bunch. The prior week.
I man out last week. That's fair.
So not saying that he's going to be the guy getting the number one. He'll be the least owned, definitely, no question. So if you want a little leverage, and if you saw what Matthew Stafford did to the Bears defense on Sunday night, I like what Joe Burrow could do as well this week. So yeah, I like all those guys again, man.
No, that's real. That's real talk. But also, I was off these guys last week primarily because I'm a show me guy. That's why I ain't put a lot of dollars bankroll at risk last week. I want to see what people are doing. I want to see the game plan that these teams have decided for their players before I start looking at it.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I need analytics.
But that's your edge is to get it before the public gets it. Take a stance and trust your stance. That's when you win all the money. Before they show it to you.
That's fair.
But fair. Be smart with it though. But
So with that being said, a lot of people are on these two players, but last week they kind of didn't do exactly what you thought. So maybe, how does the field react this week to Najee Harris and to Kyle Pitts?
That's a good question. I think the sentiment around the industry is that Najee Harris is getting all the work. He's getting the touches, and I think people are getting smarter, and they know that you want to go towards the value. With that being said, if you had Najee Harris in your lineup last week and he had maybe 8 points or so, it's hard to click that button again to put him back in there. But at 6,300, if you tell me he's going to play 100% of the snaps against the Raiders, he's going to get 20 touches, he's going to get a few catches, he's going to get the goal line work, they get down there, you gotta just go back there, man. It's tough after seeing that recency bias, but Najee Harris is a good player, 6,300. The same thing with Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is a touch different at the tight end. He's gone up in price, actually. So he's gone up to 52 this week, which makes it even tougher going against a crazy defense. And there's a lot of other good tight end plays. Just name one quick one. If I go to Noah Fant, if I go to the Broncos playing the Jaguars, who just lost Jerry Jeudy, so that's however many 5, 6, 7, 8 targets out the door. Fant already had 8 last week. I take out the number one wideout. I got Teddy Bridgewater, a historically conservative quarterback, against a soft defense. I mean, Fant at 42 is probably a better play this week than Pitts, but Pitts is a great contrarian play. Nobody's going to be on him because he crushed everybody last week, hurt everybody's feelings last week, and he's playing against Tampa Bay. But Tampa Bay is going to score 30, and if I was gonna have to try to keep up, and they got to throw to somebody. So
That's fair.
you know,
That's fair. Where you want to go with this next, B?
I mean, you can't talk about this week without talking about the Cowboys and Chargers, man. Like, it's gonna be really tough, really, really, really tough to get away from Dak, Amari, CD, Keenan Allen. Like none of these guys. Like Keenan is 7,000. That's the most expensive. Like Amari is 68. Like everybody saw what Amari did on Thursday night last week. Everybody saw what CD Lamb did last week. Everybody saw what Dak did last week, and now Gallup is out. Like they both had like 15 targets each,
Man,
and Gallup's out. What are they gonna get? Not to mention the kid Cedric Wilson is 3,100. Is gonna fill the Gallup role. Like he can't help but to fall into 5 targets for 3,100. I mean,
on his first week back, he threw for 58. Dak threw for 58 attempts.
Yeah, like, come on.
Now, I got a question. Do you think that is because Tampa Bay is known for their run stopping defense? Therefore, they just decided to pass?
Yeah, that's a big piece of it.
Or is it a game script that's just what Dallas is doing the rest of the season?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think Dallas wants to play fast. I think Dallas wants to throw. But at the same time, the game plan was right. You're not going to try to keep running Zeke into this brick wall. There was a lot of criticism in the media and on Twitter about the Cowboys' game plan and why they pay Zeke all this money. Why they're not giving the ball? It was an excellent game plan. They should have won the game. I mean, they left 7 points on the board with a kicker. You know what I mean? He missed field goals out here. Like, they should have won the game. It was an excellent game plan. But I think that's how they want to play. They want to play fast. I think Zeke is an excellent pivot this week. Zeke is an excellent play this week. Like 62. When the last time you seen Ezekiel at 6,200?
So is that a cash or a tournament play?
I think that's a tournament play. Okay. I think it's the tournament play. Because I can't go past CD Lamb at 64. Like, come on, man. 64?
Yeah.
CD Lamb should be up there. Justin Jefferson's like 74. Like he should be there with those guys, man. Like he's Amari 68.
Yeah, he's good.
Listen,
I'm gonna tell you what I did last night when I was building my first lineup.
Mm-hmm.
No analytics, no nothing, empty slate. Well, I went straight to wide receiver and put Keenan Allen in there because they're playing the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, easy math. Easy math. And in games that Keenan Allen had that Josh Herbert's played, that Keenan Allen has started and finished. That's another one last year. Started Keenan Allen in 1 week, got 2 targets and left the game. Anyway, but we ain't gonna go back to my injury thing. But never had less than like 11 targets playing with Herbert, yo. Never had less than 11 targets. And like Mike Williams had a big game last week against my Washington football team. But the Cowboys actually have a pretty good number 1 corner. Quadri Diggs, who locked down Mike Evans last week. So I think he could give Mike Williams some problems. So Keenan Allen, even more reason for me to like Keenan Allen this week, man. Again, 7,000. Come on. Like, no. He should be up there with DeAndre Hopkins, 8,000. Ridley's, 78, 70. Like, he should be up there with these guys, man. He's that good. And he gets those targets.
So to finish this game out, would you do any concentrated stacks or anything like that, tournament stacks with this Chargers Dallas game, or is everybody gonna be on that?
I mean, I think it's gonna be the heaviest, the most owned. It's gonna be the most owned stack out there, but I don't think you can get away from it. You can get a little different. I wonder how many people are gonna have Dak, Amari, and Lamb, which they're so cheap, man. I think you can make it happen. How many people? Dalton Schultz, the tight end for Dallas, had 6 targets last week, caught all 6. think he's an option if you want to get a little different. Again, I mentioned Cedric Wilson. I think he's an option at only 3,100. I think you can get him in there. Again, Keenan Allen's a lot. I mean, you can, if you want to get a little bit contrarian just to have some of this game, man. If you're not gonna play the passing game, play the run game. Play Eckler. Play Zeke. But you have to have a piece of this game. You have to. I mean, you just have to.
Okay. So where you want to go next with this? What's next on the menu?
Let's see, man. I think your boy Chubb is in a good spot this week, man. I know he's got Hunt there. I like his spot against Houston. He's 78, is expensive. But even in a game that was high scoring, they did lead much of the game last week, so he didn't get scripted out. He had 2 touches. I believe he got to 100 yards or close to it.
88.
88, okay. He even had a couple catches, which I like to see. I mean, this week, it's a cake matchup against Houston. I know Houston put up 37 last week, but they're not doing that against Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland has a very good defense. So they're actually a 12.5-point favorites. 12.5 home favorite. I saw a stat when the Browns are favored, Chubb averages 22 points per game. When they're underdogs, he averages 14 points a game. They're favored by 13 points.
I got you.
So let me get you up.
No, I get you. So yeah, last week I contrarian against the field. I said Chubb in your lineup.
Mm-hmm.
He got almost 3 points. 3 points for every dollar you spent on last week. So that was a good payoff. Very contrarian.
Yeah, very contrarian. Yeah. A great play. It was a great play. Now you just need to put in Mahomes, Kelsey, and Tyreek. And he would have won all the money,
Very contrarian. And if he could do that last week, man, he's in a better situation this week. So that would have been an interesting tournament play. We talked about that being a good tournament play last week.
Yep.
And B, you also mentioned last week getting Kirk Cousins in last week. And although they lost the game, I think Kirk Cousins actually paid off, in my opinion, if you actually put him in the lineup last week.
Yeah, I think he had 2. I know he had 2 touches to Thielen. So if you paired him with Thielen and had Mixon, which I had a lot of Mixon last week, a lot of people played the 3 big studs last week: McCaffrey, Cook, Kamara. I came down to Mixon because I thought he was just, I hate to say just as good as those guys, but he's a super talented player, and they got rid of Gio Bernard. Talks all offseason. He's getting all the work, and he showed that last week. Guy had almost 30 touches, I think, like 28 touches or something.
You had the Mixon call super on point. Point. Like it wasn't no question. I hope everybody who listened last week with the salary of 6,200 just went ahead and put Mixon in.
Yeah. Where I messed up, I was on Jefferson and not Thielen. And you're a Thielen guy. If I would have played Thielen, I would have had some nice lineups, man. Thielen got both of them touches.
Yeah. I'm a Thielen guy for the red zone. I think Thielen is the red zone magnet, whereas Justin Jefferson, he can air it out. Maybe it's a 40-yard pass. Maybe it's like some, you need room for Justin Jefferson.
Right.
Whereas Thielen, I think he's the possession guy in the red zone if they're not going to go to Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's definitely all over it right there. Yeah.
With that being said, where we going with quarterback this week?
I can't get off Dak, man. There's no. It's hard pressed for me to get off Dak, man. Like how can I get off Dak? How can I not play Dak?
Even though his running his running floor is really, really low, he ain't gonna run the ball after that ankle thing.
I mean, if they're gonna throw it 50 times, I mean, how can I? And that's the thing. Like, he's not. I could see he was like Kyler's what
82.
82. Then Josh Allen, and like he's not. He's 68. Like he's 68. Like, man, yeah. I can't. And even last week, man, he moved around. I'm comfortable the way he moved around last week. Like he wasn't a statue back there. He's not afraid. Like he's not. You see guys come back from injury and they're a little timid. He wasn't timid at all. So I think he can. Like you've seen him move around in that red zone a little bit. You know, he can rush one in if he needs to. Uh, but yeah, man, if he with Amari and Lamb out there, I mean, and like we talked about, that they just lost DeMarcus Lawrence, their best defensive player, is done for the season. They going I mean, they got no choice. They got no choice but to let that thing fly, man. They ain't got no choice, man.
Okay. All right. All right. I love it, man. And if you can't pay for Dak, are you scared to go back to Hurts this week against San Francisco?
I'm not scared. But what is he? What is he?
64.
He's on 64. I'm not scared of that. I think Hurts is fine.
He was a great call last week. In
Yeah,
some
yeah.
format, we called Hurts last week. It wasn't.
Yeah. Now it's a different scenario now. Atlanta versus San Fran, and people gonna look at Detroit and what they did to San Fran. San Fran pulled a lot of people off the field last week because they were up by 100. They they pulled a lot of boys off the field last week, and it was in a prevent type situation. I don't. Not saying that Hurts can't pay off. I think Hurts can pay off for you. But I think I'd rather try to get up to Dak, take that 400 and try to get up to Dak if I can. But Hurts is solid. Hurts is going to be solid for you. Like you said, with that rushing floor, he's going to have that rushing floor. And I was suspect of this coaching staff, man. But I like what they did with Hurts in week 1. They put him in some good spots, man. It seems like they watched all season film. They saw what Hurts did well. They put him in a position to succeed, man. So, yeah, I'm not mad at Hurts at all.
Okay. Love it. All right. So we got the QB situation. Any value players that just really stick out there?
I'm gonna go back to the Cowboys, man. Cedric Wilson's 3,100. I mean, Cowboys gonna play 3 wide. Gallup's out. I mean, Wilson filled right in when Gallup went out last week. I gotta think he steps right in, man. The guy's a good player too, man. He's not some scrub out here. He's a pretty good player if you watched him play. So at 3,100, he's gonna if that's gonna go 50 times, like 5 of them gotta go his way. 6 of them gotta go his way. At 3,100, can he get me 6 for 45? 10.5 points?
That's fair.
I'm good with that. That's my value play. My other value, man, Van Jefferson is only 3,500 for the Rams. Actually played more snaps than Robert Woods last week, which was surprising. He really got it all in one play last week. Caught one bomb for like 57 yards. Might have been the first play of the game out here. But at 3,500 against the Colts, a lot of people going to be on Kupp after the monster game he had. I think Jefferson offers some value at only 3,500. More of a tournament play.
Okay.
But could offer some value at, a little pivot off Wilson if people going to be on Wilson. I like Van Jefferson.
Can I give you a value play?
Yeah, talk to me. What you got?
I'm 50-50 on it right now. I'm more 60-40 on it. More
Okay.
60-40 on it. All right. Um, Mark Ingram kind of balled out last week.
Okay.
He didn't get like a lot of points because he don't catch the ball. But yards wise, he did better than expected.
Mm-hmm.
Houston crushed Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, could Melvin Gordon see old school Melvin Gordon ways against Jacksonville this coming week?
How much is Melvin Gordon?
Man, he 58. 59,
58.
59, 59, 5,900.
You can play Melvin Gordon. I'm gonna play Javonte Williams
For the same backfield, right?
in the same backfield. I'm gonna save $1,400. I'm gonna get the same amount of touches that you get, but I'm gonna save $1,400. So that's just where I'm gonna go. If
You
I'm gonna
going
get if you gonna get 15 touches and I'm gonna get 15 touches, but I'm gonna get $1,500 with my $1,400 with an equal amount of touches, I'm gonna take the guy that's cheaper.
could my touches be more valuable than your touches? Because I'm just a better I'm a fifth year back that knows the league, you know.
Are are you a more? But am I a more talented back? You're
I,
that
I don't
with high draft capital that a new regime invested in.
I'm just asking. I'm just
I'm
asking.
just asking you. I'm
I'm
just asking
asking
you. I,
does the old Melvin Gordon come back? Does the goal line vulture Melvin Gordon come back and you get inside the red zone and they just go with him? I mean, right now they splitting them touches. I don't really know what the red zone splits are. Let's see.
right. Yeah.
Let me see if I
I
can
could say
find
okay.
it.
So let me say this. What did Melvin Gordon? You got Melvin Gordon stats right there.
I'm gonna try to. Yes, I
He
got
had
Melvin.
what? He got what? 15, 14 carries for how much?
Let's see. Melvin Gordon had 11 touches, 11 rushes, three targets, 3 receptions.
Okay. And how many yards on them 11 carries?
101, and
100.
and he busted out on one. He had 70 on one of them.
Exactly. So he had 10 carries. I know, listen, I'm making up stuff here. I know you can't take. So if I take out his, if
His
do
average is
math,
weak.
yeah,
Outliers.
if I take out his largest run, he had 10 carries for 30 yards.
3 yards a carry.
Right. And Williams had more carries than him, right? 14
Yes.
for how many?
Um, he had 45.
Okay.
3.2. They
Yeah.
still 3 yards a carry.
Yeah, not much better. Not much better. But he had more carries already. Yeah, I mean,
One target though.
yeah, one target. So I mean, but they're just. I mean, if you took the names away and just looked at the touch count, you would say they view these guys the same, right? Like they're the. I mean, the 70. I mean, I guess I can't take away the 70. I guess that's wrong if I take away his 70-yard run. I mean, he did that. I
I
mean,
get you. No. It's interesting, mostly because of the following to me.
So let me give you my. So I'm gonna give you my counter. Then I'd rather play at 5,700. Let me get Daryl Henderson, who got all of the
All the work.
touches for the Rams. Yeah, and versus a guy who 58 and got to split his work.
Oh, that's temporary. Sony Michelle coming to get that. He coming to get that. He gonna get that work. Not this
Okay,
week,
so
but he coming. He coming.
okay, so this is your logic against yourself. So either you got to see Sony. I'm gonna use your logic. I got to see Sony do it, I ain't seen Sony do it.
Yeah,
And then I'm gonna take my logic. If you believe that, you need to be playing Sony every week so you can win all the money. I'm not convinced of that, so I'm playing Henderson.
I got you. I love it.
Mhm.
Look, I think if you need the money, go down and get Williams. But I also feel like this setup could be great for both running backs because they're going against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mhm.
I'd say this: if they have a passing script, it looks as if Gordon's the guy, mostly because rookie running backs, I'll say, don't know how to pass block and protect the quarterback. That's
Mhm.
one thing you always hear about rookie running backs. They have not
Mhm.
learned the blitz pickup, and blitz is coming from different sides, coming from the
Mhm.
middle. They have not figured out the blocking schemes for the quarterback. And you
Mhm.
cannot play. You're not playing with Teddy Bridgewater on passing downs if you can't pick up blitz packages because Teddy is conservative. Teddy ain't letting that ride. So um, I don't know. Maybe Melvin Gordon. If they're equally priced, I'm going with Melvin Gordon. $1,400. I think you right. $1,400 delta. I think you're right.
And you talked about what the script was, right?
Yes.
I mean, what do you predict the script is going to be?
Oh, this script is running the ball. After you get the lead, you ain't gonna have to pass the ball too much.
Denver is a 6-point favorite.
Yeah.
So that should lean towards.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm just giving the fans second multi-layered thinking that we're
Yeah,
talking
no,
about.
definitely. And yeah, I'm just adding to that. To that.
Yes.
You said you want to go with the game script, and I'm telling you, what do we expect the game script to be? You said if it's gonna be a pass heavy, you're going with Gordon. But do we expect it to be pass heavy? We don't.
Not this week.
Yeah.
Not this week.
Okay.
Yeah. Just giving people multi layers.
No doubt.
And Elijah Mitchell, we were on Mostert last week for 5,900. Now you get Mostert in the form of Elijah Mitchell for 5,000 going against Philly. What is that a play at running back or not?
He's in play. You get a tougher defense than Detroit. Totally different situation. Philly's a little better run D. I'm not mad at Mitchell. It's 5,000 at all. Man, you just got at that 63, that 6 to like 63, or that 57 to 53. You got a lot of good plays, in my opinion. You got David Montgomery at 61. You got Najee Harris at 63. You got Chris Carson at 61. I think those are three really good plays. So it's hard for me to get down to Mitchell at 5,000.
Okay.
But I'm a Kyle Shanahan believer. Excellent offensive line in San Francisco. Elijah Mitchell got all the touches last week. I mean, Hasty got a couple.
They didn't activate Sermon last.
Sermon will be active this week.
He will be active this week.
He'll be active this week. But man, if he couldn't get a jersey on last week, I don't see him getting many touches this week. I mean, I'm holding him in my season long. I got him in a couple season long leagues. I'm holding him because I think he eventually gets his chance. I think he just may be in a little doghouse situation here with Kyle Shanahan. But again, I'm gonna go with your thought process. I got to see it first before I mess with.
That's fair.
But I mean, I think you can play Mitchell. I think you can play Mitchell at 5,000. He's still cheap enough that you can play him. He's gonna get 15 to 20 carries. So
okay,
you can play him.
So for the fans out here listening too, some of the things we're talking about are: is this player in your player pool? And then you can optimize your lineup according to players in your player pool, right? So just because I'm asking doesn't mean that you gotta start this player or put this player in your lineup, but does this player give you flexibility in your combination of players
Yeah.
to either help you get a higher expected team total or a better situation? So yeah, some of these guys were bringing up that may be in your player pool, may not be in your player pool. And I'm gonna ask like one more controversial running back, two more controversial running backs, playing on the same team. Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones, man. I personally went the wrong way. I personally went the wrong way in my season long. I had Ronald Jones in my season long. After week one, Lenny is 5,100, and they're going against the Atlanta Falcons. And Ronald Jones, I don't even know, did he even get scored this week as bad as he played?
He's out there somewhere.
I mean, goodness, Ronald Jones at 4,800. And they're going against Atlanta Falcons and they're home, although they're split backfield by committee. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I can't mess with it, man. I can't. I'm staying away. Leonard Fournette, your boy fumbles. Ronald Jones fumbles, gets pulled. Arians comes out, says his mental's not right. Doesn't play another snap the entire game. Fournette gets all the work. They asked Arians about it this week. He's our guy. He's starting. We're throwing him back out there. You can't trust this guy, Bruce Arians, man. You can't trust this dude, man. It could go. I just don't know. Now, if you're in a tournament, you want to throw one of these guys in there because everybody's afraid of this situation. Everybody's afraid of it. So hey, throw them in the tournament you want to. Me personally, neither one in my player pool. Neither one. I can't deal with it. Let me get the passing game. I got Antonio Brown at 6. I got Evans at 61. I got Godwin at 66. All too cheap. Throw in Gronk in there if you want to. I think Gronk's 43 or so.
I love that. I love all of what you just said, by the way.
All those guys are too cheap, man. Brady's only 69. Like,
and they're going
against the Falcons, man. Going against the Falcons. People gonna say, "Oh, they gonna blow out the Falcons." It ain't gonna be no. Well, if they blow out the Falcons, what do you think Tom Brady did? Tom Brady probably threw 3 touchdowns. That's why they blowing him out. All about, you know what I'm saying? So
it might be over early. It might be over early.
Yeah.
So with that being said, last year it felt as if Evans and Godwin alternated weeks. It was Godwin's this week, Evans the next week. That might even been the case even when Jameis Winston was the quarterback for the Buccaneers. Do you think Tom Brady has just turned the keys over to Godwin, or what? What's going on?
I mean, I think Tom Brady's an equal opportunity quarterback. The man, he just finds the open man. I think that's how he plays the game. I do think Mike Evans was the last on that totem pole last week. So I do think that Mike Evans gets a little bit of favoritism this week. I think everybody's off him because he was the least productive of those wide receivers. But Quadri Diggs is one of the only good players on the Cowboys defense. He was locked in on Mike Evans, played pretty good D on Mike Evans last week. Falcons have no one who scares me. So it's tough. But again, when people have to choose, they just played none of them, right? Like if I don't know where it's gonna go, like I know, okay, it's gonna be Mike Evans, Godwin, Brown. I don't know, so I'm just staying away from that. Just like we said with Ronald Jones and Fournette, we don't know, so we just stay away. but I like my chances better choosing between Godwin, Brown, and Evans. So I could really gain myself an advantage if I get that right out of those three.
I love it.
So
okay. I hadn't spent much time on tight end and wide receiver, but I know we're coming up on just being mindful of people's time. Any one of those areas you want to go to?
My tight end player pool, I give you my tight end player pool is Fant, Higbee, Jared Cook, and James O'Shaughnessy for Jacksonville.
You're digging deep.
So he's 2,700. Got 6 targets last week. Again, we talked about how bad Jacksonville is, right? They're gonna be trailing every week. The strength of the Denver defense is the secondary, the cornerbacks. When I got a rookie quarterback, who that rookie quarterback lean on most of the time?
The tallest person he can find on the field.
Tallest person he can find, the tight end, the check down running back, pretty much. The short stuff.
Yes. The Dinkin and the Duncan, the check down.
Dinkin and yep. James O'Shaughnessy got 6 targets last week from Trevor Lawrence. If for 2,700, I'm gonna get 6 targets, and I can get 5 for 50 out of that. 10 points.
That's 10 points off of. That's 3x. That's more than 3x. A little bit more than 3x. 20, almost 4.
For 2,700, I mean, I gotta take that. Gotta love Fant again, 42.
And you might even get a touchdown.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably my. I mean, if you want to pay up to be contrarian with George Kittle at 63. I could see him having a monster game against the Eagles. But I like some of those cheaper options as tight end. I think you can get some decent targets from those cheaper guys down there.
Now, if I'm gonna pay up for somebody, if I'm gonna pay 63, I'm gonna pay 76.
You going all the way to get them 19 targets?
If I'm gonna pay, I'm not saying I'm paying up at tight end. I don't even really like to pay up at tight end at all.
Right.
But I'm just saying, if I am gonna go to 64, I might as well go to 76. Goodness. He paid off in my season long last week. Goodness.
Yeah, Waller's a beast now. Waller's a beast, man.
And did they even change his price? Was his price out before the game was over with? I think. It's a Monday night game, right?
It was a Monday night game. Not sure if it was out yet or not. It's probably really close. 76 is expensive though. But I mean, if Travis Kelce was 83, I mean 76 is probably about right for Waller.
He was 75 last week. So they could not have seen the game. Whoever priced him could not have seen the game and put him in 76.
Well, he wasn't on the main slate. So that made a little bit of a difference. I guess if you go all the way to Monday, I guess you can play the Thursday to Monday.
You can play the Monday, Thursday to
Monday. Sunday, Monday or something like that. But yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh scares me a little bit more than Baltimore. Baltimore got so many injuries. Pittsburgh scares me a little bit more than Baltimore. But really, I don't care what Darren Waller like. The matchup doesn't matter. His price is what kind of those, like 76 is expensive.
Yeah.
So.
I'm just saying, if I was going to Kittle, I might as well just go all the way.
I got you.
Because this man had 8 targets in the first quarter and only had one reception.
Yeah, I mean they got no receivers now. They ain't got no receivers out there. And Carr, he's one of them guys that'll lock in on somebody. So.
Or does Edwards come into play? Or is he just got lucky down the stretch because everybody went in on Waller?
I mean, Carr Carr just was not looking at his receivers, man. I don't know. I mean, I can't. There's no reason for me to go there. There's just no reason for me to.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Run down your player pool again, tight ends.
Schultz, Higbee, Fant, Jared Cook, and James O'Shaughnessy.
Yes. I got Cook in there. You messing with Gronk?
I'm not mad at Gronk. Only reason I'm not messing with Gronk, which I'm not. I just kind of narrow my pool down here earlier today. I did have Gronk at first. I just really like those receivers are so cheap. I'd just rather play one of them and then because I like the spots these other tight ends are in too. So I'd rather play one of these little cheaper tight ends and then go get Tampa Bay receivers.
That's fair.
But I'm not mad at Gronk either. Like I think if you're gonna play Brady, pick any two of them.
I'm gonna throw one at you. I don't think I've ever said this name in the year we've been doing this. Njoku, Cleveland Browns. He 3,600, man. Browns gonna put that work in.
He's a beast, man. He's a beast.
He got 5 targets last week. And again, I think when you get to that red zone, if they not gonna play Chubb because maybe they're ahead against Houston, Baker gonna have the ability to just throw it on up there to Joku. What's his name is not playing 2 weeks in a row. Odell ain't playing 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And if they get ahead, I do think that they have a chance to kind of take some other guys out or just focus on some of the guys that put in a lot of work but never get the praise. And Joku's that guy. So
you're not worried about Hooper.
I'm just saying Joku at 3,600, man. Hooper nice too at 38. He got 3 targets. But I think when they go to the red zone, everybody loves Hooper. Hooper gets paid, but Joku ain't getting paid. So Joku needs touchdowns.
Okay.
I know that sounds kind of wacky logic that I just threw out there. But that stuff is.
I think so. Last week the Browns were really aggressive because of who they were playing. You saw them go for it several times on 4th down. Like I think the first touchdown they even went for 2 out here. They went in. They said we ain't even kicking extra points. We know we got to put up points against these Kansas. I just think they're not going to be that as aggressive this week, and this will be a Chubb game. But again, with that logic, you would think that Chubb would have had a great game last week, and you was on Chubb. So I think it's the same setup this week. You think it's going to be a Chubb week? It could be. These receivers could get involved. Landry and Joku. These guys, hey.
This week is play action to Chubb.
Yeah.
See, last week he had still had to throw.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This week it's play action to Chubb, or Chubb has just ran y'all over that he's out the game, and now we got to just let Baker sit back and throw a little bit.
Okay. I can see it.
Again, I'm not a coach at all. I just be trying to put myself in their shoes.
They need to be listening. Out here.
Yeah. Oh, we nice in Madden now. Back in the day, people listening, me and Brian used to be nice in Madden. When we were in college, if I couldn't beat you, Brian could beat you. All right. I'm not in the Madden anymore like that, even though I did just get the PlayStation. I did just get Madden. I haven't played, but when the game has changed, it's hard out here, Brian.
I know it's changed like crazy.
It's hard, but we used to be nice. So we know by game scripts is what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. We know by game scripts. So, But that's all I got for the people, man. Anything, any lasting things you want to say to the people out here?
No, man, I think we hit on everything, man. Cow Cowboys Chargers, man. Cowboys Chargers is all I say. You
I'm
know.
up in the ante this week, fellas. Last week I needed to see where things were going. We're going to a normal bankroll this week because I got information, we got analysis, and we put them together. We're gonna be in a good place. Week one, I just could I just wanted to watch football last week, and
Yeah, nah, you played it right. You played it right. You played it right. Last week, salaries were loose, easy for people to make lineups. So you didn't have to necessarily be quote unquote know what you were doing last week to make a good lineup. This week, a little more difficult. Still some pretty good spots, but a little more difficult this week. So if you're paying attention, you'll be better than your opponent this week.
yes. So, hey, thanks everybody for listening in to our show here, and we're gonna try to stream one of these, man. We're gonna try to stream one of these,
Yes,
live
sir.
stream one of these soon. So, and with the website coming, a little basic website coming, we're gonna help y'all be able to see what's popping, at least what our thoughts are from week to week, a little bit easier. And you can get at us on Twitter. You can get at us on Instagram with the handle at Ron Fun on both. B Foster, what you got? How can they get at you?
At Foster_BSE on Twitter.
Okay. Enjoyed it.
Sir.
Good luck, everybody.